The rigid capitulations that Frederik of Denmark forced Mary Donaldson to sign were surprising, but in fact she was not the only one to face these strict rules. Revisiting the drama of the rest of the princesses and queens of Europe, photographs of Federico de Denmark and Genevieve Casanova, 47, meeting in Madrid have generated a lot of interest in the lives of the two protagonists and their closest people. As for the Danish royal family, Mary Donaldson, 51, has been at the center of many headlines. How did you take the news? Is your marriage in crisis? Were there gestures of contempt? Questions that aim to gather all the information possible from the Prince and Princess of Denmark. One piece of information that became public was the very harsh surrender that Federico forced Mary to sign when she was pregnant with her second child. On the initiative of Queen Margaret and with the support of the prince, the Australian had to sign this document, which clearly outlined her future. And these capitulations deprived him of compensation and limited the place where he could live. However, Mary is not the only royal who has had to sign such a harsh prenuptial agreement. We take a look at the demanding marriage agreements that affected European princesses and queens in the form of capitulations. Starting with our queen of the country, Letizia, 51, had to face this frightening document. When news broke that Crown Prince Felipe was dating TV journalist Leticia Ortiz, things took a turn for the worse. 2003 Casa Real, 2004. /span. 2004. For example, the document made it clear that Letizia's financial situation would be settled in case of divorce from Felipe. She would receive an allowance and have 2 houses at her full disposal. As for titles of nobility, if the journalist divorced the father of her daughters, she would become Leticia Ortiz again, but if she only divorced she would retain her title of Princess of Asturias and the treatment of Royal Highness. Of course, the most complicated moment involved Princess Leonora and Infanta Sofia. Apparently, according to Vanitatis, if the kings separated, custody of the girls, while they were minors, would pass to their father and their education would be in the hands of the crown. Maxima of Holland also had to sign a marriage contract. When Maxima Soragita fell in love with William Alexander of Holland, she had to give up many things and learn many others. The most obvious? She had to learn her husband's native language. But there were many more. It was with the publication of Maxima, the true story, written by Soledad Ferrari and Gonzalo Alvarez Guerrero, that the unusual requests he had to accept /Spania equals 6 Argentina before marrying the man who would become the father of her children came to light. Essentially, it boils down to one sentence: Maxima will have no right of separation. The document establishes that neither her assets nor her children belong to her. As in the case of Queen Letizia, her little girls will become guardians of their father and the royal house of the Netherlands. Yes, it is true that, according to the book, Caterina Amelia's mother would receive a remuneration estimated at €890,000 a year, but not a cent more or assets in your name. Moreover, on a personal level, she renounced her own citizenship and agreed to teach her children the religion her husband practiced. The marriage contract that Kate Middleton accepted. Kate Middleton, one of the most elegant and sophisticated individuals in the royal family, was no different from the rest of her peers. She was also forced to sign a prenuptial agreement to guarantee the Windsor inheritance and lineage. This is not surprising, as of Isabella II's 4 children, 3 of them eventually divorced. The German newspaper Bild in 2017 explains step by step what this agreement consists of. In the event of separation from Prince William, Kate will lose her title as Princess of Wales. She will not be able to reside in any of the luxurious homes so that their education and protection must remain in the hands of the national crown, which she now enjoys. She will not be able to claim her husband's assets and will lose custody of their joint children. The latter seems to be a recurring aspect in almost all of these capitulations. After all, the couple's firstborn will be the future king or queen of this country. As for maintenance, Kate will receive an initial sum and a subsequent pension, the amount of which will depend on her behavior. That's right. Guillermo's wife must demonstrate complete decency and integrity and make decisions with great care. For example, if you decide to remarry, the amount of said pension will be reduced, and will not be able to tell the media about her role as mother and wife in the British royal household, as Lady Di is now. That disclosure of any intimacy of marriage will be punishable by a $1 million fine. The only exception Middleton would be able to add is that both she and her parents can visit their children without any restrictions or limitations. Charlene Monaco and Alberto's marriage has always been surrounded by rumors of crisis. Nevertheless, their relationship continued despite the terms that came to light in 2011 after they got married. An agreement that outlined to the millimeter what their relationship should be. To start with, the couple had to be together for at least 5 years and had to give them an heir son. 2 conditions fulfilled, as they have been together for 12 years and had twins Jacques and Danielle shortly after their wedding. Unexpectedly, last year it was revealed that Charlene signed another prenuptial agreement to return to her husband. For what reason? The context is important here. In March 2021, the princess of the principality traveled to South Africa to protect the lives of rhinos. What was supposed to be a short trip turned into an 8-month journey due to health problems the princess experienced during that period. Charlene returned briefly to see her children, and from there she was admitted to a private center in Zurich, where she announced her withdrawal from public life for the time being. After a few months of recovery, the princess was ready to return to her former life. But with one condition: she had to sign a $1 million contract that would cement her institutional appearances with her husband and children. It was the French magazine Voici, from where the existence of this agreement was leaked. Specifically, the document established that Charlene would receive €12 million a year in exchange for attending one of the official events of the Grimaldi family. In addition, he could reside in Switzerland, although his children would remain with their father in Monaco. 22 years ago, Mette-Marit of Holland from Norway said, "Yes, I want to." The event has been hailed as the first royal wedding of the century. It was a triumph for them, as their relationship was not highly regarded. And the future Queen of Norway was a commoner and a single mother, the result of an extramarital affair with a man who had served time in prison for drug trafficking. She also went on a television program looking for a boyfriend. A series of events that the Norwegian royal house did not want to manage. However, the love between them was stronger than the criticism and they moved on. With 2 conditions. First, the young woman had to publicly apologize for her past, and second, she had to sign a controversial prenuptial agreement. And if they broke up, Mette-Marit would have to leave the palace with nothing.